Whoa, it's the Illusion, reporting from somewhere on Spaceship Earth, cruising down the 101 in the Terra Cruiser. I was listening to some inspirational talk just now, and fully shifted me back into the present moment, the truth of the reality. It's sometimes it's hard to see where you're at, right? One of my favorite movie scenes is Lawrence of Arabia, when they're riding on the camels and they're entering into the sandstorm, and he's like, don't drift, just don't drift, whatever you do, don't drift. And part of like the don't drift concept is constantly recorrecting your drift, right? Constantly reconfiguring and reorienting yourself to maintain your course. And when you're in the middle of the sandstorm, you just don't know, but you got to trust your internal bearing and just can't fall asleep at the wheel, right? So I was listening to this inspirational talk, and I was like, all right, we're not drifting. We're just constantly making corrections, recalibrating our compass to stay on course. And it got me pretty fired up. And what it was it was sort of talking about, look at all the drops of water you've put into your swimming pool, let's say. You've been coming there with a cup at a time. And when you first started filling your swimming pool of abundance, it was empty, right? And it's a swimming pool, it's huge. And you just kept bringing a cup at a time. And over time, you have almost a full swimming pool. And I took a moment to just reflect on my journey over the last 10 years. And I was like, whoa, we've taken a lot of cups of water to the swimming pool of abundance on this journey. And it's hard to see that sometimes, because you're carrying your one cup of water, trying not to drift in the sandstorm and get it to the pool, and you're so focused on making sure you don't spill the one cup that you forget that the pool is pretty full and everything's okay, that we are in a great period of awakening. And that is the true miracle of the time we live in. God didn't put us in this time to not realize our true potential, our true space, our true reality. Truth is abundant, and the truth is abundantly clear to those who live in truth. The people that want to live in deception and misdirection, they'll always be confused until they wake up. But more and more people are waking up. I was listening to what this talk was talking about, and it was like, think about when you began this journey that you were on, where the truth was, and how many people have awakened on the journey. And I was like, whoa, when I first started making these YouTube videos 10 years ago, we did live in a different time. We did live in a different space, and the truth was really beginning to gain momentum. And a lot of people were still calling you crazy and that's all conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. And now we live in a time where it's just abundantly clear, the lies, the misdirection, the falsehoods. the deceptions. There's no denying it anymore. And that in itself is as painful and sketchy as it is, ultimately is a beautiful thing, because once the truth comes out, you don't have to live in a lie, and you can move past the deception. And we're all here doing it together. You know, it was, a decade ago, it was definitely a more of an isolated reality and more of a kind of a covert thing, if you will. And now it's just so obvious that the fraud and the manipulation and the scam and the abuse of those who would claim to be in charge has come to the surface. And it's painful for a lot of people to realize they've been deceived their whole lives, and they've bought into a reality that's full of falsehoods and lies and misdirections. And again, don't drift, right? Stay on course. Keep bringing the water to the pool. Keep filling it up, because the abundance is obvious. The reality that there is no shortage is obvious, and that it's all false, that it's all being perpetrated on us by liars. And I can see that in my own journey, and I had to take a moment to reflect upon that and be like, where was I when I first pushed this button on YouTube, right? Because that's like, for me, is a perfect demarcation line, like life before the first video and life after the first video, because I have a recorded record of abundance, of the pool being filled in my life, of starting out with nothing and living a fruitful, abundant life and being of service. And yeah, here we are. We are at the literally the jumping off point of it all. There's no turning back anymore. There's no sitting and pretending that it's just la-di-da. There's no more la-di-da. It's real time. It's real time, and that's a beautiful thing, because real time means that those who are not true to themselves will perish to the falsity of the lie. And those who are true to themselves can't be deceived anymore, because the truth lies within our heart, right? The outside world's a manifestation of our inner selves. So we're seeing our own truth revealed. And for many people, they're having to go through an identity crisis of, what color is their spacesuit? What's the identifying marks of their spacesuit? What is it that's in my immediate circle of possessions, and what am I all about? And then those of us who have gotten over these false premises of what reality's about, we're finally like getting really free. And it's a scary place, because truly taking responsibility for yourself, truly being free to yourself, there's no safety nets anymore. There's no training wheels, no harnesses, you're basically like that dude who climbs up North Face without ropes. So yeah, you've suddenly realized that you're halfway up Half Dome, or whatever it is, not North Face, Half Dome, right? You're halfway up Half Dome, and dude, all you got is a bag of chalk. That's it. That's all you got is a bag of chalk, dude. And your own ability to stay tuned into reality. There's no safety ropes. There's nothing. And you know, in that movie, when he's climbing up the rock face and he's passing the people that are all safety and harnessed in, and Like, that's it now. The people that want to rely on the falsity of their manufactured safety gear are being left in the dust. And we're going to climb up this rock face. We have the strength, we have the dexterity, we have the mental acumen to get up there. And it's a truly beautiful thing. It's intense. Don't look down, right? Don't look down. Just keep looking at the rock right in front of your face and keep climbing. Well, I got a bag of mixed metaphors in here, don't I? Going through the sandstorm, carrying water, climbing a rock. Climbing a rock without safety gear, carrying a glass of water through a sandstorm is basically what we're doing right now. But we have God's love. Like, the abundance of God's love in my life is so radical and so beautiful that, yeah, when you look at those who don't have it, it's scary, because you can see what lack of God's love and abundance looks like. You just look over at some of the people right next to you and just see them in fear and hanging on to everything, and man, and I gotta I gotta cover my face, we're all gonna die, man. And you're like, whoa, that's some intense dark energy, and you have to really just rally through it and be like, better them than me, therefore the grace of God go I, and the grace of God, right? The abundance of God. I'm blessed. I truly am blessed with health and happiness and harmony. Yeah, it's been a radical period, but the Great Awakening is here. There's no more deception. Those who want to be deceived will be deceived. And that's a choice they get to make. That's free will. And I don't have any, that's their choice. Those of us who are free to see through the lives and the misdirection and the chaos, we see the truth. There is nothing but love waiting for us. There's nothing but love filling our hearts. And there's no reason to be separate. There's no reason to be divided. There's no reason to be in a state of disharmony and aggression and anger. Like, again, I look into my heart, like, I really have nothing to be angry about. I'm not even angry. Like, I think I get a little bit bummed that so many people are so angry. But yeah, when you're living in a world of lies and make-believe and chaos, yeah, that would make me angry too. But when you're free, there's nothing to be angry about. You just got to stay on the course. You just got to keep moving forward. So it's a Wednesday in July, and I'm feeling God's grace and abundance. And I hope the same for you. I hope that you don't live in fear. I hope that you're not afraid of the truth. I hope you're living in the truth, that God loves you and there's nothing but abundance and love. And don't be attached. Don't get attached to this three-dimensional 5 sense reality. Move beyond it. This is all just a smoke screen. A smoke screen. And there's some really powerful smoke right now, shooting holograms on it, chaos, and you know what I mean? But have no fear. God loves you. I love you. We love each other. We're family. We're the tribe. High frequency tribe all the way. We're getting through this one step at a time. Don't drift. Whatever you do, don't drift. Thanks for spending a little time with me this morning on the drive.